Hey, Dr. Cain here. We're going to be doing a video on rolling, foam rolling. So foam rolling is an awesome thing to do. And I just want to go through the tools here we're going to be using. We're going to be using a lacrosse ball. We're going to be using a roller. And then this is kind of the ultimate roller that you want to build up to. You go to Home Depot, buy a 2-foot length of 4-inch PVC. I like to wrap it in some sort of a cloth kind of tape, like a hockey tape, hockey stick tape, so it doesn't slide around on the carpet. This should be the last roller you ever have to buy. And if you can get pain-free working with this roller, you're doing really, really good. Now, the idea of rolling these areas that we're going to be doing today is to find tender areas in the body and remove those. It's a functional problem in your body when you have a sore area that you're going to find with the roller. So the more of that we can remove, the better off you're going to be. And so that's kind of the goal with this, is to get to a point where you're pain-free with all these motions. Now, rather than getting into specific muscle bundles and stuff, I'm going to go through the areas that I would ideally like to see you roll. Just to preface, I do not want you rolling the small of your back. We will access the low back, but it'll be mostly through the hip flexors and glutes and through the legs and stuff. But it's just not a great idea to roll the small of your back. So, and again, we're going to be working on specific kind of body parts here as well too. So to start off, I like to do kind of the whole front here. So it's basically from the knee, and then you're going to feel a bone right here for part of your hip crest, that you're going to go up to this area and kind of work this whole kind of front part here. So we're going to start off with that. So it can be a little awkward in the beginning just on how to move on the roller in that. So it's just something you got to kind of get used to though too. So we're just working the front of your quad, and we're working forwards and backwards. And when we find maybe a little bit of a tender area, we hang out there for a bit, and we can kind of go side to side on it a bit and just try to give it a little bit of attention. So we're kind of going that whole front of the quad, and then we're kind of going to the side. So you can adjust different pressure with this as well too. So right now I'm using maximum pressure on this because I have the pressure of my other leg on top of this, which is putting a lot of extra weight on the leg below. But if this is extremely sore for you, you can kind of get your other leg down and then take a lot of weight off that leg. So when you are rolling those areas, it won't be as intense as putting the other leg right on top of it as well too. So you can kind of adapt for that as you're finding these different areas. Okay, so then we go back here. I do want to spend a little extra time kind of right around that top bone. That's your hip flexor. A lot of times it can cause a lot of low back issues and stuff when this is really tender and sore, and usually it's very tight with a lot of people that sit a lot. So we want to spend some extra time there. Now you can, if you want to get really mad at yourself, and you can use the lacrosse ball in these areas as well too, if you're not feeling it much with that roller or with the PVC that we recommended as well too. So we just kind of covered the whole front and then kind of the side of the leg as well too. Next, we're going to do the inside of the leg. So put the roller out and just back and forth like that. And find a tender area again, just kind of lean into it a little bit more. Okay, so obviously you're going to be doing both legs. So then maybe you would go to the left leg, do all those areas, and then we're going to switch to the butt. So I guess we'll do the hamstring first. So we'll keep the leg straight, roller on it. It's tough to get the hamstring on the inside, so it's a little bit easier on the outside, and you're going to notice some stuff kind of where the back of the leg meets the side of the leg. And so you're just going to roll that area out right down to the knee and right in there. So again, both legs, but then you can shift up, and we're going to be doing your glute here now. So with this, we're going to be going back. You can go all the way back to that hip bone there as well too, and right into above where your femur meets your pelvis as well too. And just kind of that whole area. People talk about the piriformis muscle, a deep muscle in the glute, that this can really get in there and activate that. And again, The lacrosse ball can work really good in this position as well too. So after we go from there, we're going to work into the mid-back region. So again, we're not doing the small of the back. We're going to start where the back kind of starts curving up a bit. So we're going to come down like this. We're going to grab ourselves, and we're going to try to really get that roller on the big muscle bundles in the middle of the back. And we're going to go up kind of right where the neck meets the shoulders and back and forth like that. If you hear some cracking and popping, that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that things are going in and out. It just means that certain joints are going through a certain range of motion. A good thing for this as well too, especially with a kind of a hunched posture like this, people can get some nice relief in that just from laying back on the roller as well too, and kind of extending the head back a bit and then moving down a bit and just really opening up that chest and getting a nice stretch back like this as well too. Next, we're going to do underneath the arm here. This was one of the more sore ones with me personally, especially where the arm meets the shoulder. Right in that area there, you can typically find some nice tender areas in there to kind of work out. You want to be going down the whole lat and into the arm as well too. Now, a really good one with this, where the little ball of hate comes in, is we're going to find some areas in the back of the shoulder here and kind of work that. So laying the ball down like this, finding those nice tender areas. When you find it, we can just kind of breathe into it and then work the arm back and forth like this. Find another area, work the arm back and forth. Excellent. And then again, obviously, we're doing both sides with this. I like to kind of finish off with the ball on the foot. So we're just going to get it underneath our foot and then kind of roll around and find the real tender areas with that, kind of all over the foot. This can be a great thing just to keep this ball in the kitchen or a place where you spend a lot of time to, if you have it and you're just kind of doing something, sitting around, and you can just kind of get that ball under there and work out those tender areas as well too. So those are some general areas that we'd like to see you do. If it's a muscle or soft tissue, you can basically roll it. So I know I didn't get every area in the body, but that's kind of a good general overview that you want to work towards. The way that I like to do this was, when I started off rolling, I was extremely sore. What I did was I committed 10 minutes a day. And after about 3 weeks, I got to a point where I was basically pain-free with it. So you can get there, and believe me, I started off extremely sore as well too. But the closer you get to that pain-free, especially with the PVC roller, you're doing your body a great justice, and you're going to be way better off being pain-free than not. Thanks for watching the video.